UW, what's going on? Good to be back, good to be back. I find it funny and weird at the same time that many years ago, I used to be sitting where you guys are sitting and watch many professors lecture up here at this great University of Washington. Now I'm here. Mom, I did it. Did you know that there are school districts in America that throw away kids' lunches right in front of their friends? It's pretty awful. Back in May 2017, I was on CNN.com catching up on some news, and one article that really caught my eye was school lunch shaming inside America's hidden debt crisis. I was thinking, what's this crisis about? Is this some kind of a clickbait article that I find on like Facebook or something? I clicked on it anyways. And the more I read, the more furious I got. Kids, debt, take food away. Seriously, what is going on here? Did you know that 76% of America's school districts have kids with school lunch debt? What is lunch debt, you may ask? Lunch debt is basically when kids don't have money for school lunch, their meal gets charged to their account. After a certain amount of money is charged, this is where lunch shaming may occur. You're probably wondering, what is this guy talking about? What is this lunch shaming? Imagine yourself as an elementary school student right now. It is lunchtime. You have your food tray, you're in line, you have your pizza, chocolate milk, and you get to the cash register. You enter your PIN number, and boom, the lunch worker's computer screen says you're out of money or you owe a ton of money. This lunch worker takes your lunch tray filled with perfectly good food and dumps it right into the garbage can, right in front of your friends. Then this lunch worker hands you a brown paper bag containing a cold cheese sandwich. This is not enough food. They may even literally label you with a red $sign on your hand stamp that says, I need money, I owe money. They're literally labeling you. Schools toss out food, literally label you, provide you with an alternative meal with a cold cheese sandwich, just so these kids can go home crying to their families, so they can pay off these lunch debts. This is bullying. Any one of you here go to public schools? Yeah? Many of you. You might have seen, or you might have gone through this type of lunch shaming at school, or even seen a friend that has gone through it. It's really awful. How sad is it that a child can accrue a debt at school? The word kids and debt should not even go together. Many young children are still learning about the value of money. Students shouldn't have to worry about if they'll be able to eat lunch that day or not. Studies have shown kids cannot focus and learn while they're hungry. We need to act to protect our children. Steps towards a permanent solution. One beginning step that we can take towards a permanent solution is that we can create a crowdfunding, kind of like a GoFundMe. You can create a GoFundMe page to pay off certain school districts' lunch debts or even certain schools and help them out. Last year, I helped organize a GoFundMe page or GoFundMe campaigns to pay off the school lunch debts of Seattle Public Schools, Tacoma Public School District, and Spokane Public School Districts. Paying off these lunch debts helped lift the burden off of many families of these school districts. It even helped letting the school districts avoid using up the general funds. What I did not know with what I did, it launched a movement in America. Anyone heard of the Grammy Award-winning John Legend? Yes, that's him. Mr. Legend heard about my school lunch debt campaign for the Seattle Public School Districts on Twitter. I'm sure most of you go on Twitter. He heard about it and made a very generous donation. Of course, his donation ended up going viral, maybe a little bit thanks to me, kind of blurting out. So it helped launch the movement even further, and it got more people aware of the lunch debt and lunch shaming issue.
Last June, John and his wife Chrissy Teigen were in town for a concert and to visit Teigen's family in Snohomish, where she grew up. While they were here, John also donated $5,000 to a local GoFundMe account to help pay off all outstanding school lunch debt in our area.
I feel like it's not a thing that kids should have to deal with. I feel like every kid should be able to eat when they go to school, no matter what their income level is. And I donated to that because I felt like it was a statement we all need to make as a society, that we won't let our kids go to school hungry.
Thank you, John. A little bit after John Legend's donation, a mother from Idaho sent me a message through Facebook. She let me know that she read a national news article about my fundraising efforts to her 6-year-old daughter, Amaya. Amaya was so inspired by what I did, she asked her mom to see how she can help the kids at her school. They started a lemonade stand in Idaho. They passed out lemonade to people driving by their house and asked for donations. Within a month, they raised enough money to pay off the school lunch debt at her elementary. She then wanted to up the fundraising efforts to pay off the school lunch debt at the entire school district. She asked her mom created a GoFundMe page, and in no time, she paid off that debt. How amazing is it that I can inspire a 6-year-old girl to do such good in this world? Just wow. You may have seen lately, let's go back. One thing. Please keep in mind that paying off school lunch debts through crowdfunding is only a temporary solution. It's like a Band-Aid. Band-Aids come off. So let's go back to this. So basically, you might have seen this on the news lately, that there has been anti-lunch shaming laws that have been passed. State of Washington, Nevada, Oregon. These anti-lunch shaming laws that have been passed prohibit schools from tossing out food into the garbage can, providing them with an alternative meal like the cold cheese sandwich, what I call the sandwich of shame, and also literally labeling them with different hand stamps and even making them do chores to pay off these lunch debts. These anti-lunch shaming laws are good progress, but there are unknown costs attached to them. Last year in the state of Oregon, the anti-lunch shaming law passed. It went into effect in August of 2017. School districts that started out with little or no school lunch debt now have up to $17,000. Who knows how much it can get by the end of the school year? The real issue here is the lunch debt. The permanent solution that I firmly believe in is that school lunches need to be provided to all public school students at no cost to the families. We must find a way to fund these lunches. If public schools are funded, why not the school lunches? While the fight continues to get school lunches funded for all public school students, the next best solution is to have better communications from the school districts. Better communications is a great way to getting these lunch debts paid off. For example, schools can send out letters to these parents notifying of low account balances or even lunch debt. I know sending home letters, paperwork is a very old-fashioned way. I'll admit it. I rarely check my kids' backpacks for paperwork or even field trip forms. But it's worth a try. In addition to sending home letters, the schools can send home the letters electronically via email. Most of us have smartphones that can check email on the go. We are even notified of important notifications or important appointments via app notifications or calendar notifications. This is basically me. Besides letters and emails, phone calls can be made to the homes as well to notify again of low account balances or even lunch debt. If these forms of communications do not work, schools should find out these families are dealing with issues at home that are causing these kids to get into school lunch debt. If so, see if these families qualify for the free and reduced lunch program. Provide them with the form and even assistance to fill it out. Some families may not fill these forms out due to pride, language barrier, and even fear. Some families are not in this country legally, and they do not want to fill out a form that provides governmental help with the fear of possibly being deported from this country. Awful, isn't it? Imagine that the future president of the United States of America might be currently in a US school district right now, possibly being lunch shamed due to lunch debt. The next big entrepreneur like Oprah Winfrey might be currently lunch shamed due to lunch debt. Even the next big philanthropist like Bill Gates might be currently lunch shamed due to lunch debt. Even the next great group of TEDxUofW speakers might be currently lunch shamed due to lunch debt. These future leaders cannot reach their full potential if they do not have enough to eat. We need to fight hard to get school lunches provided to all public school students at no cost to the families. If school lunches are fully funded, then school lunch debt will not be a thing anymore. No school lunch debt, no lunch shaming. Thank you, and go Dogs.